Auctions are going to be my downfall, but I managed to get all this stuff for roughly $20 at an auction. Do I know what any of it is? Yes, that's an oscilloscope. Do I know what any of the rest of it is? Well, it's three things here. I didn't actually realize there was three in the auction lot, but you know they're serious when you have to have a key to turn them on. Of course, that also becomes a problem when you don't have the key, but the other two have the keys, however, neither of them work in that lock. These bad boys are Bradhead Garrett Company power supply units, model P56. That's all the information I've really been able to find on these things. I have not found much. As you can see, we have a 120 volt output. We have a 0 to 120 volt output, which is adjustable, so it's a variac. We have a audio input, which makes zero sense to me. I have no idea why the power supply would have an audio input. We have a 0 to 25 voltage, a DC multimeter up to 500 volts, a 0 to 125 DC output. Now, these are very low milliamps, as you can tell, so it's not really all that much danger. And a 0 to 350 volts DC, again, very low milliamps, so it's not really that much of a danger. And some AC outputs right there. My best guess is vacuum tube stuff, but honestly, I do not know. This right here, I'm going to have to do some research to find out if I can legally plug this in. This is a AM/FM signal generator, which I'm pretty sure it'll all depend on how much power output it actually can do. It will depend if I can legally plug this in. I'll have to do some research into that, obviously. I got no idea how to use this. Finally, we have this Tektronix oscilloscope, model 453. I'm going to be honest, I do not understand why analog oscilloscopes have so much of a value. These actually do have somewhat of a value. These days, you can get a digital one for sub $100. That's really good, so I don't entirely understand why people actually care so much about these old analog ones. I'm sure there's a reason for it, I just simply don't know it. This container here actually probably paid for the entire lot. It's actually lidless. I couldn't get it reclosed, so I didn't put it back on it. This is a whole bunch of test leads and all this fun stuff for oscilloscopes, and they just use a standard, oscilloscope connector. I'm blanking on the name of these connectors all of a sudden, but they're what's used on pretty much all oscilloscopes, including modern ones. So just one of these probably would have cost more than the $20 or so that was spent on this entire lot. So that's awesome. We have two pros, we have a current lead. That is absolutely awesome. That paid for the lot right there. It's one of those things, will I ever need any of this stuff? Probably not. I mean, if I do, I've saved a ton of money than going out and buying one of these, or something that could do whatever these can do. However, even if I don't use them, it's something for me to research, something to learn on, something to learn about. So for $20, something to actually, learn something new on is totally worth it. Plus, those test leads were worth it for me just on their own.